Hello guys, welcome you to the lecture on design of transmission system. This is the first class. In first class, we are going to see about introduction to the power transmission system, type of power transmission system, 5 types of belt drive, its advantage, limitations, and belt designation. Now, let us move into the topic. What is power? Power is one kind of energy. It's a energy unit per unit time, right? So power is one kind of energy that should be transmitted from one place to another place to perform any kind of useful task. That transmission is called power transmission. For this kind of power transmission, we are going to include number of components. For example, coupling, shaft, chain, sprockets, belt, and gear. So these all the components used in separate manner in separate kind of power transmission. So this all together is called power transmission system, transmitting the power from one place to another place with the help of such a instrument. That is called power transmission system. Mechanical power transmission system. Engine. Engine is an object that converts chemical energy to mechanical energy, right? For a movement of a vehicle, it should be transmitted to the wheel, right? The engine converts chemical energy to mechanical energy. This mechanical energy should be transmitted to the vehicle to perform useful task. Engine connected with the clutch, gearbox. Gearbox is the box. Number of gears are arranged in a series manner to reduce the speed according to our requirement. Propeller shaft, differential. Into that there will be a gear arrangements. Bevel gear arrangement will be there. It transmits the power to the wheel. So this is the one example for mechanical power transmission system. Type of power transmission system. What are the type of power transmission system is available? There are 4 types of power transmission system. First one is belt drive. Belt drive is also called as flexible drive. Here we are using a belt to transmit the power from one place to another place, one pulley to another pulley. That is called belt drive power transmission system. Second one, gear train drive. 2 shafts will be placed apart some distance. For transmitting the power from one shaft to another shaft, we will use number of gear. So that is called gear train. That kind of power transmission is called gear train drive. Chain drive. You may see our cycle. The power transmission is happening due to this chain drive. Last one is turbo vortex drive. These are the 4 types of power transmission system. Let us start from belt drive. First, let us see the flat belt drive. Flat belt drive, there are 5 types of belts. First one is a open belt. Second one is cross belt drive. Stepped cone pulley or speed cone drive. Fourth one is fast and loose pulley. Last one, jockey pulley drive. These are the 5 types of belt drive is available in flat belt drive. Let us see in detail one by one. Flat belt. The name suggests that it is a flat belt. You can see here, flat belt drive. The belt cross section will be rectangle. That's why it is called as flat belt drive. The belt cross section will be rectangle. That is called flat belt drive. Flat belts are designed for light duty transmission and are conveying high performance. This is used to transmit the power in large distance with a high performance. This flat belt can be used for transmission large center distance. 2 shafts are located between the large center distance. So we can go for flat belt drive power transmission. So it is best suitable for large distance power transmission. These flat belts give more design freedom than standard designs because they are available in the most any width and size in the increment of 1 by 16 inches. So it gives more design freedom. Open belt drive. You see here, open belt drive picture front view is given here. There is 2 pulley. Pulley 1, pulley 2. Driver pulley and driven pulley, whatever may be. This is the top view. Now you can see here the power is transmitted from pulley 1 to pulley 2 through a belt. That is called belt drive power transmission, there is no any crossing. Directly the power is transmitted from one pulley to another pulley. That's why it is called open flat belt drive. Flat belt we are using in open type, so it is called open flat belt drive. This one is top view, front view, top view. You see here, this one is belt, pulley with this larger than the belt here. Where this flat belt can be used? This flat belt can be used to transmit the power between two shafts with same direction. Suppose the pulley 1 rotates in clockwise direction, pulley 2 also will rotate in clockwise direction. For transmitting shaft power transmission between the two shafts in same direction, we can use flat belt drive. Here, lower side should be a tight side and upper side should be a slack side. Imagine, you see here, upper side, lower side. We have to maintain lower side should be a tighter side, upper side should be a slacker side, because we have to make arc of contact. Due to the continuous rotation, belt length will increase. Suppose in top side we are maintaining a slack side, what will happen? The belt will form like this. So what will happen? Due to that, the angle of contact between the pulley and belt will increase. So the power transmission will be increased. So the top side should be slack side. Initial tension T0. At the time of driven, T0 increases to T1. Normally, we have to maintain some initial tension with the pulley and the belt to transmit the power. At the time of transmission, this initial tension increases to T1 in tight side, reduces to T2 in slack side. Then only we can able to transmit the power. Suppose that T1 and T2 both are equal, we cannot transmit the power. Centrifugal tension. A belt possesses mass, right? And it passes over the pulley, it will create centrifugal tension, but it is a wasted load. Next, cross belt drive. You see the picture. There is a two pulley. Pulley 1, pulley 2. Shaft 1, shaft 2, right? The shaft connected with the pulley. Now, the belt placed over the pulley 1, it's crossing and connecting with the pulley 2. So, what will happen in the cross belt drive? Let us see. Yeah, this one is front view. This one is top view. Now you can see here crossing. Crossing is happening. So this is called cross belt drive. This cross belt drive transmits the power between two parallel shafts in opposite direction. Now you see here pulley 1 rotating in clockwise direction. The pulley rotating in clockwise direction, the belt tries to rotate. Now what is happening? See here, the belt is moving linearly and passing over the pulley 2. So it changes the direction of pulley 2. So this cross belt drive can be used to change the direction of rotation. This cross belt drive, the shaft should be placed maximum distance to avoid the wear. You have to avoid the wear at the crossing of the belt. We have to place at maximum distance. Should be operated low speed because the belt should be crossed, right? Because the angle of contact also more in cross belt drive. You can see here angle of contact. Normally we will maintain angle of contact of 180 degree, right? But in cross belt you can see here the angle of contact is more. This much angle only not contacted with the pulley. So the angle of contact is more in a cross belt drive. So it should be operated at low speed. Next, stepped cone pulley. Yeah, the name itself suggests what type of pulley is that. You see here step. That's why it is called stepped cone pulley. Where this pulley is used? This can be used to change the power frequently. For example, we have to change the speed 100 rpm, 200 rpm, 300 rpm. In that time, we can go for stepped cone pulley. because we are going to change the speed frequently. So we no need to go for other type of operation. This is enough. Just we are going to shift the belt from one pulley to another pulley. Here, number of speed can be varied, because how many step is that number of power we can able to attain. So we can vary the speed. One step mounted in reverse direction, belt wrapped over the pulley. Speed can be varied. Changing the belt from one pulley to another pulley, speed can be varied. You can see here, this is driven shaft. This one is driving shaft, right? Suppose if you place the belt over the larger pulley in driven shaft, speed will be very, very less. Suppose if you change the belt to the smaller pulley, what will happen? Speed will be more. This way we can vary the speed in stepped cone pulley. Next, fast and loose pulley. What is fast and loose pulley? The power can be stopped without interfacing with the motor. The motor will continuously rotate, but the power will not be transmitted to the shaft. Suddenly we have to transmit the power, right? In that scenario, we can go for fast and loose pulley. Here, one pulley is keyed to the machine member, another pulley will be a loose pulley. There will be two pulleys. One pulley is keyed to the machine member to transmit the power. Another pulley is a loose pulley, will rotate without transmitting the power. Now you see this picture. You can see here, driver shaft, right? Driven shaft. There is two pulley in driven shaft, pulley 1, pulley 2. Here, one pulley will be keyed with the machine shaft. Another pulley will ideally rotate. See, now if you change the belt from pulley 1 to pulley 2, what will happen? Power will be transmitted, because this pulley keyed with the driven shaft. So what will happen? It will transmit the power. Suppose the belt let it be in pulley 1, it will not transmit the power, because the pulley and the shafts are not keyed, so it will ideally rotate. So this is a fast and loose pulley. To transmit the power without interfacing the power, motor power, we can use this kind of pulley. Next, jockey pulley or idle pulley drive. Now, where this jockey pulley, idle pulley can be used? Used when driven pulley is very small center distance, very small and small center distance. See, in all the scenario, driver pulley will be small, driven pulley will be a bigger one. In some situation, driven pulley is very small. In that scenario, we can use jockey or idle pulley. What will happen? See, here this is driver pulley is larger now, driven pulley is smaller one. Now you can see here the angle of contact is very, very less, so it cannot be transmitted the power, right? The power cannot be transmitted. Now what we are doing, that is another pulley that is called jockey pulley or idle pulley. So what will happen? This pulley will compress the belt and it will make the angle of contact more. It will increase the angle of contact, so the power can be transmitted effectively. Yeah. When the arc of contact is small, we can use this kind of idle pulley. Jockey pulley is located near to the smaller pulley, because we need to increase the angle of contact in smaller pulley, so the jockey pulley is used near the smaller pulley. Next, slip. Yeah, slip is an important factor in a power transmission by the flexible drive. Slip is an important factor. What is slip? We are transmitting the power in a belt drive through the friction. There will be a pulley, the belt will be passing over the pulley. So due to the friction, the power is transmitted. Due to the continuous rotation, friction will be reduced between the pulley and the belt. So what will happen? Continuous rotation will occur. This slip affects the continuous power transmission between the belt and pulley. So what will happen? The pulley only will rotate without transmitting the power. That is called slip. Second one is creep. What is creep? Creep is a continuous rotation of belt passing over from tight side to slack side to tight side. This continuous phenomenon is called creep. Due to that, what will happen? Belt will contract and extend. This will happen continuously. This is called creep. These are the two major factors affecting the belt drive. Next, law of belting. What is law of belting? Center line of belt when it approaches the pulley must be at mid plane of the pulley. Now you see here, this is center line of belt. This one is center line of pulley. So this is called law of belting. Center line of belt when it approaches a pulley must in mid plane of the pulley. Now you see here, the distance between the pulley in left side and the right side, both that should be equal. That is called law of belting. Why we have to maintain this law of belting? Because it will support to avoid run out of the belt. The belt is continuously rotating at this midpoint of the pulley. It will not run out from the pulley. So this is called law of belting. What are the advantages of belt? Flat belt drive. First, it gives long life service. So suppose the belt is damaged, we can easily replace that. So it gives long life service. Less downtime to change the belt. So we can able to get high productivity. Smooth and noiseless operation with over the gear arrangement. Suppose if you go for the gear drive, there will be a more noise, but comparing with that, we can get less noise. No need groove or anything. Just we need a smoother surface, that is called pulley, and belt will be passing over the pulley. Used to connect the large center distance. Suppose two shafts are located over the 5 meter. The power should be transmitted. In that scenario, we cannot go for the gear drive, we cannot go for the V-belt drive. The only possible way is flat belt drive. So for a large distance, we can go for flat belt drive. Protected against overload. Yeah, this is an important point. Imagine, due to the power fluctuation, the more power is generated in the motor, but it should not be transmitted to the machine member. In that time, we allowed a tension between the two belts, right? In tight side and slack side. So when the power exceeds, what will happen? The pulley only will ideally rotate. So the power will not be transmitted from the driver to driven. So protected against overload. Shock absorption. Yeah, I mentioned that belt is a flexible drive. So it will absorb the shocks when the power is transmitted. Even though number of advantages, there may be little disadvantages. Let us know that. Initial tension. Initial tension should be maintained. To transmit the power, we have to maintain the initial tension. When the initial tension is increased, it should reach T1 in tight side. It should decrease T2 in slack side. Then only we can able to transmit the power. So initial tension should be maintained. So it is a waste of energy. Belt should be placed in line. Definitely the line of the belt, center line of the belt and the center line of the pulley, the belt will run off from the pulley. We have to follow the law of belting. The belt transmission should definitely follow the law of belting, or else there is a chance for belt run off. It occupies more space because gear drive, it's a compact device. Suppose if you go for the belt drive, it occupies more space, less efficiency. Efficiency is less than the gear drive. Suppose if you go for the gear drive, efficiency of 100%. But if you go for the belt drive, we can get the efficiency only up to the 90 to 95%. Belts are subjected to the repeated loading. Its life factor is reducing. So the life is shorter due to this fatigue factor, or else the life of the belt will be more. If you avoid the fatigue, we can increase the life. Flat belt designation 36.0 M125. Here, this 36 indicates length of the belt is 36 inches. Type of the belt is M type. The M indicates 400 endless woven flat belt. This 125 indicates for a width 1 divided by 100. Suppose this 125 divided by 100. So the width is equal to 1.25. That is called width of the belt. So this is the designation of the belt. Suppose if you want to replace a belt drive, you can use this designation to get the belt from the market. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.